What's good, y'all? It's your boy Sean P, the Bluff guy. Hey! And I am back again with another chapter discussion stream. I'd like to do these are discussions, not reactions, because I'm not really reacting to the chat. I am reacting to the chapter, looking back at it, but I'm not like doing a live reaction. When I think of reaction videos, I think of like you're reading along while you're reacting to it. I already reacted, so this is kind of we're discussing the chapter, and today is chapter 1040. Oh my goodness, to say 1040 is that's an amazing thing. But the chapter is called "Wasted Words on Young Ears," which thinking about the title now, it makes sense for what we've seen in the chapter. That whole monologue that we get from Big Mom, right? So but yeah. But before we get into that, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. We just passed that 50 subscriber milestone, but we'll get into that a little later. Also, follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, on my Facebook page, as well as if you're looking for a One Piece community to be a part of, we have the One Piece Discord, as well as the One Piece Facebook group. But yeah, let me get a little swig of water. Yeah, yeah. It's another chapter. It's another chapter stream, baby. I'm always excited for these. Fortunately, we don't have a chapter next week though, which is a little sad. It's a little sad, but we'll get into that later. All right. Let's get into this chapter. One Piece, chapter 1040. Wasted words on young ears. All right, so we get a photo of both Niji and Yonju. Yonji, not Yonju. I'm thinking Reiju, kind of mixed with Yonju. Niji and Yonji, both they're both trapped in Montdoor's book, and they're both pretty much thinking about how they were pretty much defeated by Big Mom. Big Mom pretty much defeated both of them herself. We see Niji pretty much getting choked up by Big Mom, and it looks like Yonji got like punched. Pretty much took a punch from Big Mom. So now we get a little context of how they were defeated. They were pretty much defeated by Big Mom herself, not like Big Mom's children. Like I kind of thought that, like seeing how Big Mom was pretty much in a rage state and then had her hunger pains satisfied, I would have thought that she was still kind of in the kind of a blissful state, like she wouldn't have gotten to that point. I thought by the time she would have got to where the Vinsmokes were, that they might have been defeated by one of like Oven or Daifuku or something, or like a combination of those guys, not specifically one of those two, but any combination of those. But no, it was Big Mom who pretty much defeated them. So it just makes me think like none of the other Big Mom children was able to stop those two or stop the Vinsmokes, except for Big Mom. It took Big Mom to come and stop the Vinsmokes. And I would guess to venture that soon as Big Mom got there, the Vinsmokes pretty much started retreating. But Niji and Yonji couldn't really avoid it. They couldn't really avoid Big Mom's wrath. So, but that's that. That's not why we're here. I do like this cover page, and I'm curious of where it's going to go. Because me personally, I think that this is somehow going to get back to Sanji and the Straw Hats, and we could potentially see Sanji or just the Straw Hats in general, off of maybe the behest of Sanji, going to rescue the siblings, right? Like maybe, like I said this before, but maybe Judge, Ichiji, and Reiju uh, meet up with the Straw Hats maybe sometime after Wino, unless the Vince Smokes come to Wino and help, right? Because I could see that happening too. I could see maybe after Kaido is defeated, or somehow this is all resolved, maybe CP0, that's when they decide to act, right? Because we see CP0's on the move, and as we know, CP0 are strong, and they haven't really been fighting. But at the end of this fight, all the Straw Hats are pretty much going to be tired, right? All the Straw Hats, everybody in the alliance are going to be tired. They're going to be tired from this long battle. So when CP0 really makes their move, somebody is going to have to possibly help the Straw Hats, because they're going to be weak. We seen in this chapter, Zoro was pretty much passed out. And Luffy fighting Kaido, if he indeed does defeat Kaido, he's going to be tired. It's going to take everything for Luffy to defeat Kaido. So he's going to be tired and unable to defend himself, as well as Zoro and Sanji. Jinbei don't seem like he's too tired, so I guess Jinbei can do something. Maybe Yamato, maybe Robin, maybe they can somewhat help, but I think for the most part they're going to be pretty tired, and it's going to take somebody who's fresh, who hasn't been fighting, this whole time, to pretty much save the Straw Hats. And I think that can possibly be Germa 66 when they pretty much go to the Straw Hats for help, right? For help in order to save Niji and Yonji. So again, that's what makes me real curious to where this story is going, because I do think that this is going to somehow get back to the Straw Hats. And again, I think we need that closure with Vin Smokes and Sanji, right? Sanji and his family, pretty much. I think there needs to be some type of closure, because we still see how this beef is, or this beef with his family is still affecting Sanji, right? Like we see how he doesn't like using a raid suit. He didn't like to upgrade. His body was pretty much foregoing, after wearing the raid suit. He didn't like any of this because it's associated with his family. So I think there has to be some type of resolution to that, for maybe Sanji to forgive his family, or at least to be on some level of, okay, we don't, I'm not beefing with y'all no more. Even if, I can't really fully forgive y'all, we can still move past this, But, that's that, I just wanted to talk about the cover page a little bit, because these Vin Smoke cover page, this Vin Smoke cover story really intrigues me. It really intrigues me. But let's get into the chapter. Okay, so we see Kid pretty much still blasting his railgun at Big Mom, right? From last chapter, I would have thought Big Mom would have already been through the Onigashima, all like pretty much about to hit the ground. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Prometheus and Hera saves her or something. But that doesn't seem to be the case. She's still holding strong. And Kid is still giving all that he got in this blast. And we see how she's pretty much holding on to the ground, from preventing her from falling through this hole, right? And she even says, she's still talking that mess. She says, make your choice. You can select the fate you'll suffer. The moment I deflect this thing back at you, you can give me 50 years of your lifespan. Ooh, 50. Oh boy, like how much life do they have? You know what I'm saying? How much life do kid-in-law have? Now, being the fact that they are, like One Piece characters seem like they could live pretty long, like naturally, right? Like their natural lifespan seems like it can be pretty long, right? Because I'm trying to think, Dr. Kueha or whatever her name is, the one back in Drum Island who was kind of a mentor to Chopper after Kaluk died, or Hiluk or whatever his name. I be forgetting names. I'm bad with names, guys. But I think it's Kueha or something. Like she was like 100 and something years old, if I remember correctly, right? Now, given the fact that she's a doctor, she probably knows little tricks of the trade of to how to extend her life. But still, you know, even with tricks, a human's body is only has limitations, right? Even if you take care of your body and eat healthy and do so much stuff, it still has limitations, and we know that normal humans are capable of living to their like early hundreds, but she was like in her mid hundreds, I think. I can't even remember, honestly. Somebody in the chat, let me know how old she was, if you guys remember. But yeah, and she was alive and kicking, right? So yeah, so she says you can give me 50 years of your lifespan, or you can keep it and serve me. Life or slavery. Yeah, she this time it wasn't life or what was it, life or I can't remember what she usually says, but this is a lot different than what she normally says when she offers those options. All right. All right. So we get kid-in-laws crew, pretty much saying, hey, y'all need to like get away from her. Y'all ain't gonna be able to beat her, so y'all need to back up. And Kid even says, why should we be afraid of the weak, of some old hag who's outlived her welcome? You know. And and so we see Law pull up a re-room, right? A re-room. And we don't really get the what he's pulling that up for till a few more panels. And and we see that Big Mom is pretty much taking souls, right? At this point, she's pretty much taking souls. But somebody mentions, they said neither of them is losing even a second of his lifespan. Do they not have a single ounce of fear for the Emperor of the Sea? So yeah, so we're seeing pretty much the downside to Big Mom's ability, which isn't really a downside. It's more like, I don't want to say it's a weakness, but it's a weakness in the sense of it doesn't work on people who do not fear her, right? They don't fear her. And we know that they do not fear Big Mom. So um hold on, y'all. Sorry, I had to get some. But yeah, okay. So now we see this mother, I forget what the attack was. I think it was Mother something Mercy. That mother attack, right? It's still pretty much lingering around. It's almost like it's a homie. I guess it's a homie in itself, right? Like it's a attack that was that's pretty much a homie, right? And we see that she's about to try to save Big Mom through attacking Law. And So Kid is pretty much going on with this attack. Still attacking, and we see Law. But this is still before that attack, pretty much. That Mother Mercy attack. Before Mother Misery. We got Stanislav Stanchief. I'm sorry if I butcher your name. Said Misery, Mother Misery. So it's Mother 3,000 Leagues of Misery. Appreciate that, Stanislav. I can't say that, but yeah, I appreciate you in the chat for giving me that, and welcome to the chat. By the way, welcome to the chat. So, Law pretty much throws like this room bubble around Big Mom, and from what we see, this pretty much works in a way similar to Corazon, right? To where everything within this bubble you can't hear, right? So I don't really know how Law's ability is doing this, but it's doing it, right? And so right before this Mother Misery attack pretty much attacks Law, Law turns around, kind of like this spinning slice. It was like a spinning slice, cuts the homie in half, and bang. Okay, Stan. I'm gonna call you Stan. Welcome to the chat, Stan. He said, "Don't worry if you can't pronounce my name. Just call me Stan." Yeah, I'm gonna call you Stan, and welcome to the chat. I guess you're a new subscriber. Welcome to the chat, or you're a new viewer. I would say. I don't know if you're a subscriber. You're a new viewer, so welcome to the channel and welcome to the chat. So yeah, Law does a spin. He cuts Mother Misery, and Kid is finally able to pretty much push Big Mom through the hole, because we see her go through the hole, and she falls all the way to the bottom of Onigashima where the armory is, and we see Yamato even notices, and Yamato even noticed that, all the sound is trapped, because she says, "Big Mom, why isn't she making any noise?" So even Yamato peeps this this room attack, that this special room ability that Law done on Big Mom. Even Yamato is able to peep that. And so we see Stan says, "My only problem with this chapter and the last one is Law's stamina." What you mean, like Law doesn't have enough, like a good bit of stamina? Like you think his stamina's kind of weak or something? I could see maybe it's just a drawback of his ability. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like an attack to like Room might be like an ability that has a huge drawback on the user's stamina, right? And I think we even learned that in Dressrosa. That's kind of the drawback of Law's ability. It's the stamina. It drains stamina. He said there are some story continuity problems. You mean with Law? With Law's stamina? Yeah. I can see where you're going with that. I can see where you're going. So yeah, so Big Mom is falling through the floor, right? And she grabs one of the bombs, which blows up. We see Yamato pretty much pull like a piece of rubble to pretty much shield her from this explosion. And we see Kazumbo get blown away, and somewhat it seems like he's shrinking. So what it looked like is this explosion affected Kazumbo and pretty much knocked him out. That's what it looked like it might be doing. We don't see Kazumbo knocked out or anything, but it looks like it affected him pretty much negatively. And All right, so we see Big Mom coughing up smoke. Look like she's you know how when characters pass out, they like cough up some smoke. And she's having this whole dialogue in her in this little bubble. I'm gonna go over the dialogue a little bit, but I just kind of want to talk about some of the stuff happening. So we see Chopper. Uh, I guess this explosion, you know, everybody's feeling the explosion. We see Chopper kind of falling back. Brooke and Robin seems to be running, so they're still up. And we got Zoro who's passed out, and we see Hiyori with her little mask, which I kind of thought this was the end of the act when I seen Hiyori with this mask playing her shamisen with Orochi seemed to be laid next to the floor. I don't know if something happened to where he got defeated or if he's just like laying next to Hiyori. Kind of looked like he got passed. Kind of like he's hurt though, like he's not passed out, but like down almost. And then we see Raizo, who is in his stalemate or was in his stalemate with Fukuro Koju, but Fukuro Koju's like laid out burning, right? So it seems like Raizo is the victor, but for Raizo, it might be a little too late. It might be a little too late for Raizo because he looks like he's caught on fire as well. And, you know, I don't know if this is pretty much the last I mean, I don't know because you know One Piece fan or One Piece characters survive some crazy stuff. We seen Pell blow up and still, or you know, he survived the explosion. So I don't know why Raizo couldn't survive some fire, right? We got Truth Seeker in the building. He says it is kind of crazy to think the same guy that lost to Daffy not that long ago, I'd be able to withstand multiple hits from a Yonko. And then Stan says, because I think that in chapter 1030, he said that using his awakening would guarantee defeat, yet is spamming his awakening. I remember him saying something about like in the earlier chapter when he first used his awakening, like he couldn't use it again, and then he ended up using it again there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And then Stan says, even in last chapter, he said that that was going to be his last attack. Yet in this chapter, he is still going. Man, you know anime, man. Like that's like a problem with anime. You know, like we get a lot of times we'll see a fight where it's like I can no longer fight no more, and then they fight for like another couple episodes, another couple episodes or chapters or something. You know, that's just. I mean, that's part of the game with anime at this point. You know. And then he said Orochi is laying down because everything is shaking from the explosion that Big Mom set off by destroying the bomb. Makes sense. That makes sense. But you would think like maybe Hiyori would have fell over too, because she's sitting pretty firm. But Orochi can't even he can't even sit firm or anything. So alright, so Big Mom is falling through this. She's still falling, and then eventually hits the ground, and we get the Oda bubbles. That's what you know. That's why I call them the Oda bubbles. It says Emperor of the Sea, Big Mom versus the New Generation. Battle of the Performance Floor under the Dome. Winner, Eustace, Captain Kidd, and the Surgeon of Death, Trafalgar Law. So it's confirmed Big Mom has been defeated. I was kind of thinking she was going to come back, but it's almost confirmed at this point. Once you see Oda bubbles, it's pretty much confirmed at that point. I kind of want to go back before we continue. I kind of want to go back in this whole monologue that Big Mom was having, because she said some pretty interesting things in it, right? She says some pretty interesting things. She says, okay, first it starts with what I can't speak, and then she says she start calling out for Prometheus, Hera. What are you doing? Save me. And he said, nothing I touch makes any sound. And then as we go further along, it starts to transition to where she starts talking to Roger, right? She says, ah, damn it, of all the luck. Hey, Roger, why do you have to go and say that? Why? Or you got the whole world in on this great era of piracy. Easy for you, you're dying. But when this almost seemed like it's like a flashback, like a monologue she had like when Roger was still alive. So I kind of don't get it if this is like she's thinking this or if she's actually talking about some of this. She said, but when those kids rise up all over the world, we'll be the ones who have to deal with them. Just tell us about the One Piece before you die. So this is sound like it's like an old conversation almost, right? She's like asking about the One Piece from Roger. She said, what is it? Where is it? Some of it's in this country too, isn't it? I'm so close. Kid, Law, they'll pay for this. Don't you dare assume that this will kill me. And then she was defeated at that point. Stan said, even though I read that. I already read that part. So yeah, all right. So moving on, Big Mom has been defeated. It's confirmed. She's done. She's done. Then it says they beat Big Mom. This is huge news. This is monumental. And then we cut to Yamato and Momonosuke. And she said, is that you, Yamato? Or Momonosuke says, is that you, Yamato? She says, Momonosuke, are you underground, but you're open to the air? And then Yamato said, that's right, a single bomb blew the bottom off the island. I managed to encase them in ice, so we avoided the armory exploding all at once, thankfully. And then Momonosuke says, I'm glad you're still here. I cannot leave my current task, however, so hear out what I have to say. Zunisha is very close by. What the elephant from Odin's journal, says Yamato. And then Momonosuke says, indeed, a companion of Joy Boy who committed a crime 800 years ago. Which we know about the crime, but we didn't know that, Zunisha was indeed a companion of Joy Boy. Which kind of just made me think of some things, right? But before we go into that, y'all know I have a giveaway. I am doing a giveaway. And in this giveaway, the giveaway was once I reach 50 subscribers, I will be giving away 2 of those Straw Hat pirate flags to 2 subscribers. I meant 1 each, of course. Y'all not getting 2, but 1 each. Matter of fact, giving 2 of these. Hold on, let me turn it this way. 2 of these away to 2 of you guys. 2 of you guys, right? Now the question is, how do we do this? How are we going to do this? Let me read the chat real quick because I see some chats coming in. Stan says Big Mom will come back 100%. Sure, she lost the fight to Kid in Law, but this is good because it would be stupid if Kid in Law managed to kill her, remove her from the story forever. Because Luffy said that after he defeats Kaido, Big Mom is next, so Oda just removed her from the arc for now. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that because I definitely got some thoughts about that. Right, I got some thoughts about that, so we'll definitely talk about that. So, all right. So, how we're going to do this giveaway? Right. First, you have to be a subscriber. Right, you have to be a subscriber and make sure you like this stream. But you have to be a subscriber most importantly. We got Shane Burns in the building. He said, good weekend, bro. Good weekend to you too, Shane. This today we jumping though. We jumping. So, okay, first you gotta be a subscriber, okay? And I will be announcing an actual winner on next Sunday stream. So everybody got a week. Pretty much you got a week to do this. All right. So in the not in the chat, but after I'm pretty much finished this stream, I want you guys to go back to the comment section. And first, I want to know everybody's top 5 favorite characters. Now, this is for the actual giveaway. This is for the actual giveaway. All right. So first, you got to be subscribed. Second, you have to go to the comment section after the stream, and give me your top 5 favorite One Piece characters. Top 5, all right? This is easy. And here is the last part, right? Because I'm gonna go back on this stream and we're going to figure out a winner. You know, there might need to be some tiebreakers, but that's cool. Okay, and lastly, I'm gonna think of a number between 1 and 50. Okay? 1 and 50. I'm gonna write it on this card, right? I'm gonna write it on the back of this card. So I'm thinking of a number right now. And I got the number locked in my head. All right. All right, so I'm gonna fold the numbers on the back of this card. So you can't see it, but it's on the back of this card. I'm gonna fold this up. Fold this thing up, put this bad boy up, and I'm gonna put it in this little container. So it's a number in this card, right? A number in this card. I just forgot about it, honestly. I forgot the number. That's why I wrote it down. So I'm gonna put it in here and we gonna highlight this later, right? We gonna highlight that later. So what you guys have to do is first you gotta be subscribed. Second, you have to give me your top 5 favorite One Piece characters. And third, you just have to think of a number between 1 and 50. The 2 closest will be the winner. Now, if there's some draws, then if there's like a tie, then I'm gonna have to think of a tiebreaker for people who might come up with the same number and might be right. So, but that's gonna be for next Sunday stream. That's when we will come with a winner. So remember, guys, it's in this little jar, the number. 2 closest win. 2 closest. Keep it completely fair, completely random. I could pick names out of a hat, but it's gonna be that. And you have to do it in the comment section after the stream. I don't want you guys to do it in the chat. Do it in the comment section after the stream. But all right. But let's continue with this stream though. Let's continue. All right. So we get first. Let's talk about some of the key takeaways from this chapter. First, it was Big Mom's last stand. Now, honestly, thinking about the last chapter, I thought she was probably defeated. It looked like they blasted her through Onigashima all the way to the ground, but she still held strong. Which I'm glad that there was her defeat just wasn't just that quick. I'm glad that she still stayed strong, and you know they kid and law still had to fight, right? They pretty much still had to continue fighting her, because she wasn't going to go down. Matter of fact, if they would have stopped attacking, she would have got right back up and would have kept fighting. And it is a little off putting, kind of like what Stan says in chat, that it's a little off putting that she, or that law, law was supposedly he was supposed to not be able to do all these awakenings, but yet he's still able to. He's still up and about and still able to continue fighting and doing attacks. Right, like he was able to stop the whole Mother 3000 misery homie attack, whatever you want to consider that thing. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess it's a homie. I guess you would consider it a homie. I thought it would be just an attack, but it's still lingering around, right? It's still lingering around. But so I guess it would be a homie. I guess it's not just an attack. It's like a homie kind of based off of Big or Mother Caramel. What I think. So I'm glad that Big Mom was still able to put up a fight and didn't just get. It wasn't just like they did the attack and she was defeated. It still helps show how tough she is. That even when they had her down, she still fought back to continue, right? That's what we should expect from a Yonko, not to go down so easily. But and when we look at it, yes, she was defeated. She was defeated, but it took two Supernova to beat her. You know, as well as some of the damage that she might have suffered in some of the earlier fights. You know, so it does help her case, the fact that she didn't lose. You know, I guess in a one-on-one, right? It took two strong characters to beat her. So, I know a lot of people might, use this as a way to really kind of knock Big Mom, but she still stayed strong and stood firm, right? Eliz said in the text box it specifies that it is the battle of the performance floor. Although Big Mom lost that battle, there could be another battle elsewhere. Oh, you mean like another? You mean other battles on the performance floor? Yeah, I think there. Are you talking? Because I know like a lot of the fodder characters are still up and about fighting and trying to do things. So yeah. Next, I want to talk about laws. Law pretty much almost copying like Corazone's technique, which that one kind of confused me. I'm like, how can law copy, you know, like from what we know of the mechanics of how law's ability works, you know, I mean, I guess because sound is like vibration in the air, and since law kind of manipulates like time and space, he could remove those vibrations that cause sounds, which would inherently act like Corazone's ability. You know what I'm saying? Um, Ela said, I mean that Big Mom could have another battle. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna talk about Big Mom. I'm probably kind of the key takeaways. I'm gonna talk about like what's next for Big Mom, right? We will be talking about that. But yeah, so that just showed like this law in essentially copying Corazone's technique essentially shows you how broken Law's ability is to where he's almost doing other people's like techniques. But I guess it kind of makes sense because when you look at like let's look at Katakuri for example, right? Katakuri was pretty much able to mimic Luffy's abilities, right? But when you look at Katakuri's abilities, it makes sense within the realm because he's he's mochi. He's like a very liquidy like a viscous substance. You know, a thick viscous substance. So it's not rubber, but in the sense some of the properties can be similar to rubber. So so it would make sense for him to be able to expand almost like he's doing Gear 4, even though we never seen a Gear 4 Katakuri. But some of the attacks that we've seen, like being able to increase his size in his punches, or you know, like certain things. So when I see Law's ability, right? When I see Law's ability and how Corazon work, like Corazon's ability is able to pretty much, I guess, silence things. Which now that I think about, Corazon would be the perfect counter ability to somebody like Apu, right? Like that'd be perfect. But Law, like I said, Law can manipulate time and space to a degree, right? Like he can anything within his the bubble that he creates, he can remove things. He can switch locations with things. He can do all types of stuff, right? So I would think that when he made that bubble around Big Mom, he almost removed all the sound vibrations because if you understand how sound works, it works by vibrations. You know, like when I talk, the vibrations. Like when I talk, I make a vibration. I make waves, and those waves hit someone's ear, and those though after hitting the ear, your brain almost processes it and recreates it to what I say, right? So in that bubble, there are no vibrational waves going on. That's why in space there aren't no particles. So if there's nothing for the vibration, the waves to travel on. So that's why you can't hear anything in space. It's completely silent, right? And in a sense, what Law did was kind of like create a void to where vibrations, like sound vibrations, are removed out of that bubble. So that's kind of the best explanation I could come up with on how he was able to recreate Corazone's ability. Um Elid says, I believe that Law being able to manipulate vibrations is related to Haki and Devil Fruit Awakening. This is essentially the basis of my Gear 5th theory. Using Haki and Devil Fruit Awakening to manipulate vibrations. Yeah, man. Like, yeah, you talk about that a lot, and I was actually kind of thinking about that, like how you talk about how, like, um, when you talk about chi and I forget what you said. Sound which cha or which I guess chakra that sound is. You know, like you got. I know you talk about the crown chakra, which would be where Conqueror's Haki is, and then sound would be a certain chakra or a certain color. I can't remember exactly how it works, but yeah. Um, and you said and creating a new power from it. And he says Haki is also referred to as voice. So Law silencing Big Mom, causing her Haki and soul powers not to work. But that would make me that would then I would also ask, could law potentially uh nullify hockey? You know what I'm saying? Like, could he nullify hockey? You know, or is it just like hockey of sound, right? Or could he not nullify all hockey? That would be that would be interesting. Like that, I would be very interested to know that, right? Well, you did say causing her hockey not to work, so I guess that's in a sense answering my question. All right, so next I want to talk about Kazumbo, right? You know, it looks like he is kind of out of the equation at the point. Like it seemed like when that explosion happened, he got blown away and he started to shrink. And we also see the voice of Kazumbo, which I think might be I think Kazumbo is pretty much Conjuro's soul, right? It's his soul. Like I think Conjuro, when he manifested Kazumbo, I think at the same time he also died. And Kazumbo is the soul of Conjuro. Which it to me it makes sense because when you look at Kazumbo, he reminds me of like Big Mom's homies that when we seen back in Whole Cake Island, where she had like the blob looking homies, and they were taking people's a piece of people's soul. Like every so often they do this. So Kazumbo looked kind of like a homie in that form, right? So it would also make me think that Kazumbo could, in a sense, be a the spirit of Conjuro in ink form, right? Because when you look at Kazumbo, he looks like an ink blob almost, and it would make sense given Conjuro's devil fruit nature, right? That he would have like an ace in the holder where when he died, he can summon an ink blob, you know. But it looked like Cosimo might be out of the picture because when we seen he got blown away and he started to shrink, what it looked like. So let me know, y'all. Do y'all guys think Cosimo is pretty much out of the arc? Was he defeated? Indirectly defeated, I guess. Big Mom. If you look at it, Big Mom got a couple defeats. Big Mom defeated she defeated Page One, if I remember correctly. She defeated now she might have defeated Kazumbo. It's like she almost defeated Ulti, but Ulti did get back up, and then if I remember correctly, Nami finished off Ulti. Elid says throat chakra has the element of sound and ether, which is air the gods breathe. Okay, yeah, yeah, I knew it was the throat chakra. That's what I was thinking. And then Ela said, "You mentioned the void, and think of what Blackbeard's ability is. He can cancel devil fruit powers. Maybe he can even cancel hockey. It's scary to think how overpowered Blackbeard could be with just the Yami, bruh. And that's why it's scary the fact that Blackbeard has two devil fruits, right? That's what makes that scary. The fact that the Yami Yami no Mi is already a very scary ability, right? Like to have the power of darkness. Like he could almost summon black holes, right? Like he could also nullify people's abilities. Yeah, Blackbeard is pretty scary, and I personally think he might get a third devil fruit because when you look at it, his whole like I've said this before, when you look at Blackbeard, his whole theme, when you look at the number of that is a theme with Blackbeard, it's three, right? He got the Jolly Rogers with the three heads. He carried three guns on him. I mean, I can't really. I think that's all the. Maybe it's not so many of them, but those are the ones I could think of at the moment. So, again, I think Blackbeard has three souls with him. You know what I'm saying? Like he has three souls in him. Like there's a theory about the three triplets or the triplet theory, where Blackbeard is really just a set of triplets. And if that's the case, if the triplet theory is right, or the multiple soul theory is right, and maybe he has three of them, I would beg to argue that he might be able to have another devil fruit. If he doesn't already have a third devil fruit, he might be able to get another devil fruit, which makes Blackbeard even scarier. You know what I'm saying? That makes him even scarier in my book. The fact that he could potentially have three devil fruits. You know, if he doesn't already have them, he might be able to have a third one. And honestly, like, one of my speculations, fan canon thing, is him possibly getting Kaido's devil fruit, just because it would be the strongest Logia, the strongest zone, or no, the strongest Logia, the strongest Promethea, and the strongest zone. The strongest Promethea. Zone. Dang, I'm all over the place right now. The strongest zone, which I would beg to say it could possibly be Kaido's devil fruit, and if not Kaido, maybe somebody like Sengoku or something. But I also had a theory that, like, he already has a zone devil fruit that he just hasn't shown yet, and that might be it could be like the Cerberus devil fruit, like the three-headed hellhound, the three-headed hellhound of Hades. And that's kind of a tongue twister. Try to say that 5 times fast. Three-headed hound of Hades. Three-headed hound of Hades. Or maybe like a hippopotamus devil fruit, right? And because if anybody is familiar with how Oda works a lot of his characters, all of them have a animal theme to them. You know, like you got Boa Hancock. Her theme is snakes. Then you got Kuma. His is like a bear. Law, I think, is like a polar bear, maybe a panda. I think that's Law's. Mihawk is a hawk, a bird. And then Blackbeard's animal is the hippopotamus. And if anybody knows anything about hippos, you could go search this up. You look up, go Google how many stomachs do a hippo has, and they have 3 chamber stomachs, right? So and I think this was actually a theory that I seen before. Like, it would make sense that he has a devil fruit in each stomach. If, let's say, he does have 3 stomachs, right? But if he has 3 souls, which is probably the theory that I'm probably more geared to, that would mean maybe each soul could have a devil fruit. But yeah, okay. So back to the chapter. I kind of went on a tangent talking about Blackbeard. What's next for Kid and Law, right? We see how they had this big battle with Big Mom, and according to Law, he should be past his limit by now. You know, like Stan said in the comment or the chat, he talks about how, Law kept talking about how, this was my last attack, but then he'd pull out 3 more attacks, so I guess Law is done, even though last time we seen them in this chapter, they were still up. It wasn't like they were passed out or anything. Like, they were still on their feet. So, I would think that they might go help Luffy. If Law is really at his limit, I guess he couldn't really help. I guess he wouldn't be of any help. So that would leave maybe Kid to go help Luffy. But I don't know how much Kid has left in the tank to go fight Kaido. But he does want to defeat Kaido, though. He definitely does want to defeat Kaido. He's, his rage of fighting Kaido was just as strong as Luffy's, right? So I would hope to see that they go fight, go help Luffy on the roof, right? That they will go help Luffy. But I don't know. I don't know if they're in any shape to continue fighting. So I'm just curious. Are they just going to rest for a bit and then maybe go help Luffy? Are they going to go maybe go look for Zoro to go take him to the Dragon Ball Z universe and go get some sensu beans? Because you know how Zoro gets lost and end up in random places. That's like an anime gag where you see Zoro in other animes, right? So Zoro go take Long Kid to go get some sensu beans, and then they regain their strength and go help Luffy. Go help Luffy fight Kaido. But I don't know. I don't know. You know, I hope, seeing how they're not like passed out like Zoro is, I would hope that they would go continue to fight Kaido. Maybe take a quick breather and then go fight Kaido. But, you know, again, Law already said how he's at his limit. Kid never really said anything about being on his at his limit, so I don't know. I don't know. Next, I want to talk about something that people I guess brought up. Is Big Mom out of the story? Is Big Mom out of the story? I don't know. I don't think she's out of the story. I think there's still some stuff left. You know, Big Mom being knocked out, right? Big Mom being passed out. This might be what we need from Big Mom. Because again, if you've been following me for a while, you know, me or Elids, right? Me and Elids both talked about how the possibility of spirits coming to Wino, right? The possibility that we may see some spirits, some characters. I'm not going to expand too much on all the spirits that we could potentially see, but one that I think I named, you know, matter of fact, I was watching the Joy Boy Theories video, and he even brought it up. I didn't bring. He brought it up, which it had me thinking. Mother Caramel, right? Mother Caramel, and maybe those kids, the orphans, right? Now, there's been a lot of talk about, you know, Big Mom eventually learning that she was the one who ate Mother Caramel and those orphans, and that she will eventually find out. Now, one theory back in Whole Cake Island was maybe Puddin, you know, since Puddin can manipulate memories, maybe Puddin can make her remember what she did. But we never got that. We never got that. So that would make me think, I think there may come a period where Big Mom does learn that. Now, and if we're on the subject of spirits in Wino, that means there is an opportunity. Maybe Mother Caramel may come back, or maybe the orphans, and maybe they're the ones who's going to tell Big Mom, "Look, we didn't abandon you." You know, because Big Mom has abandonment issues, which hence is part of the reason why she is the way she is. So if maybe Mother Caramel or the kids come back and tell her, like, "Look, you ate us," maybe this could be a solution to curing her abandonment issues, and then in a sense indirectly maybe some other issues that Big Mom has. And since she's like passed out, and I don't want to say she's near death, but you know, being passed out, I could say is kind of like being near death, right? So maybe she gets this revelation, and maybe we'll get a change of Big Mom, right? Maybe we could get a change, and going off the talk, you know, about I think Elids or Stan, one of them talked about how she, you know, she'll come back later, right? Because Luffy says something about he's going to defeat Big Mom next. So I don't know if I want to see another full out fight with Big Mom in another Supernova, especially since we seen her go fully all out against Long Kid. You know, I think at this point, she had a major fight. So to have another bit major fight with Luffy, I don't know. I don't know. You know, I guess I can't say I'm against it because I also was on record of saying that Kaido could like maybe retreat and then him and Luffy fight again later down the line in this big war. So that would be kind of hypocritical to say that it would be repetitive to have Luffy fight Big Mom now and defeat her. Like I just don't want to see Big Mom get defeated twice, right? You know, once by Kid in Law, second time by Luffy, right? At least if let's say Kaido retreated, he never really got beaten by Luffy. So next time they fight, maybe he gets, then he'll get beaten by Luffy. But so yeah, I don't know. I don't know at what lengths Big Mom will return in the story, but I do think she will return. I don't think she's fully out of the story just yet, honestly. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on Big Mom. Now to the last thing I want to talk about. The last thing is the Joy Boy and Zunisha. The Joy Boy and Zoe connection, right? The Joy Boy and Zoe connection. Now we know that Zunisha was committed a crime like 800 years ago. She committed a crime and was pretty much sentenced to walk the ocean. Now we don't know the full scope of this sentence, but we know he or she was sentenced to walk the oceans or the seas, the waters of the New World. I guess the New World. But I guess Zunisha would be able to go anywhere. She would be able to go through she would be able to go through the Calm Belt easily. Now I don't know if it would be safe with all the sea monsters, the sea monsters or whatever. But she could do it. Zoe could do it though. But what is the connection? What is this connection? Because I've seen some theories. I reacted to a theory that Zunisha is like one of the members of the Oars race, right? So if Joy Boy was indeed a giant, it could make sense. See how Zunisha is a giant elephant. Joy Boy being a giant, maybe at that point when Zunisha and Joy Boy was together and they were companions, maybe Zunisha was a lot smaller, right? Like small enough to, think of like Baby Laboon, right? Think of Baby Laboon. So, maybe he wasn't so big. Maybe Zoe wasn't so big, but I don't know. I don't know. But I'm seriously intrigued by this connection with Joy Boy and Zoe. I would think maybe Zunisha's purpose was to be part of this major plan, right? Maybe this is a hint that Zunisha is indeed one of the ancient weapons, right? Because we know what I believe is that this whole plan to pretty much unify the oceans, the seas, the East Blue, the West Blue, the Grand Line, the South Blue, all the blues, including the New World and the Grand Line, to unify all those into one ocean. I would think that maybe Zunisha was a part of that plan. Maybe she could have been part of that plan. Or at the very least, if not part of that plan, maybe the plan for Zunisha was to knock the borders down. So maybe just like Joy Boy made a promise to Fishman Island to help them come to the surface and move out of Fishman Island and migrate to the surface. Maybe he had a plan with the people of Wano as well. You know, and Zunisha has something to do with that plan. Just like the Noah's Ark has something to do with the plan for Fishman Island. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for the chapter. You know, it was a good chapter. You know, it was a good chapter. It's kind of sad to see Big Mama get defeated, you know, but you know, I think I was preparing for this for the last few chapters. I think the last few chapters kind of prepared me for it, because I said before, like, look, I think Big Mom might actually be close to going down. So, and that's that. But anyway, it's your boy Sean P, the Bluff God. Hey. And yes, so y'all, again, if you just came in, tuned in, remember that the giveaway that I am doing for the channel, I gave the details earlier in the stream, so make sure you watch it. Make sure you watch the stream and catch where I said that, where I gave the details. If you do want to win, if you plan on winning, make sure you follow those directions, as well as subscribe. You must be a subscriber to win. Like the video or like the stream. Hit that bell for notifications. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and my Facebook group. As well, if you're looking for a One Piece community to be a part of, we have a One Piece Facebook group and a Discord. All the links will be in the description box below. Let me know what you thought of the chapter. You know, and I'll holler at you next Sunday. I don't know what we're going to be doing next Sunday, but we will be doing a stream. So, yeah. Anyway, y'all have a good Sunday. Have a good week. I'm out of here. Peace.